listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro, the place to learn about new technology and technological advances before they become mainstream. This podcast is sponsored by Ingram Micro's Imagine Next. It's not about the destination. It's about going someplace you never thought possible. Go to imaginenext.ingrammicro.com to find out more. Let's get into it.
Welcome to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. I'm your host, Shelby Skrhak, and my guest today is David Eaton, Ingram Micro technology consultant. David, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Well, today we are talking about upgrading to vSphere 8. But first, tell us a little bit about your role there at Ingram as technology consultant.
Really, my role at Ingram is to help our VMware partners build a practice around VMware and expanding their portfolio. So that may be vSphere, server virtualization, or all the way up to desktop virtualization and cloud virtualization. So I'm really here to help our partners grow their business.
Well, to open the aperture here a little bit. So, we are talking about VMware's vSphere for multi-cloud. Now, vSphere is not new. It's been around, but I guess, can you just give us an overview of vSphere's virtualization suite? I guess in essence, what does it do?
Yeah, so vSphere is really VMware's bread and butter, if you will. vSphere is really the product that kind of controls everything in the environment. It's the basis of all of VMware's other products. So vSphere is for your server virtualization, but it really creates the platform to support Horizon virtual desktops. It's the gateway to a cloud infrastructure. It really helps enable partners to create virtual machines, run them in multiple locations, run them on premises, in a co-location, or in the cloud.
So you mentioned that gateway. Then, do I understand? Then it's kind of the engine, how you can see that entire technology stack moving and working together, and whether or not you have, I guess, whatever technology stack you do have, you're able to have some virtualization and some oversight over all of that stuff. Is that right?
Yeah. So, really the big thing about vSphere is with it being a virtualization platform, it's kind of built on the same standards as your traditional IT would be. So it helps customers can run vSphere. They can also run a physical environment in tandem with vSphere. They can also run their environments in the cloud on a basically kind of a standardized set of rules, if you will. So, vSphere helps enable customers to take a number of servers, maybe thousands of servers, and consolidate them down to, tens or even hundreds of servers, and save obviously a lot of money on power and cooling, but also from hardware expenses and operational expenses and things along those lines. That's kind of helps. That's what vSphere is really meant to do. But also creating virtual machines. And a virtual machine could be a server, it could be a desktop, it could be a number of different products or a number of different things, items in the environment. And then you can move those virtual machines from one data center to another data center to a cloud data center, or wherever your data may reside. You can move that around based on your needs and how flexible you need to be.
Yeah. Well, so then comparing vSphere to its new iteration. So, I understand at VMware Explorer back in August 2022, VMware announced this new version of vSphere, vSphere 8. So tell us about what's new in vSphere, that this 8 version that has kind of evolved and is really, as I understand, kind of become a sign of the times where, we're needing this type of multi-cloud functionality more so than ever before.
Yeah, really. vSphere, like I said, it's one of those products that every partner can sell. It's one of those products that a very large percentage of the IT population, if you will, has adopted. But with this new version, it's really the first time in a very long time. To go back in time a little bit, VMware released vSphere 5, and that was their first, cloud operating system, they kind of said. And VMware is pushing customers to a cloud future, being able to make workloads flexible and spin up data centers when needed on demand, and then power them off when not needed. what vSphere 8 really does is it kind of takes it to a whole new level. It is truly a cloud operating system, a cloud platform that can be deployed really in any location. So the capabilities that VMware introduced in vSphere 8 is all about what they call the multi-cloud. And so before they made that announcement at Explore, if you wanted to run a cloud deployment, you had 3 different cloud providers to choose from. Primarily, it was going to be AWS. And VMware's set up VMC on AWS. And that's, it was always one of those like, okay, so we have a cloud platform now. They've expanded that. So it's going to include, I believe in the next year or so, it's going to include up to 8 different cloud vendors. And where that really helps out customers is it helps give them that choice. Do they want to run a virtual machine on AWS? Do they want to run a virtual machine on Azure? Do they want to run it on premises? There's also, part of that as well is our VMware Cloud Provider program. And so partners can create their own cloud and customers can then use those clouds as well. And they pay the service fees and the maintenance fees and things along those lines to be able to use that. So really what vSphere 8 did is it kind of shines the light on multi-cloud and making it a little more approachable. I guess that's the best way I could say it. But then also they have, with vSphere 8, you have vCenter 8, and you have vSAN 8. And then vSAN 8 helps enable that hyper-converged infrastructure, which really means that you can take an entire data center and move it to wherever you need to move it. It helps with that on-demand requirements and things along those lines. So that it's vSphere. It's really a step in the right direction, and you'll see in the next few months, you'll see a lot more customers moving towards a cloud license, if you will, meaning those licenses are transferable between on-premise or in a cloud environment.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned in the next coming months. What is vSphere 8's availability right now?
Right now, any customers buying vSphere are purchasing vSphere 8. So it came out in October. I believe October 11th was its release or general availability. So if you're purchasing vSphere now, it's going to be a vSphere 8 license. The nice thing that VMware does, I guess the beauty of VMware is those licenses are downgradable to versions. So if they're still running a vSphere 7 environment, they can certainly do that. They can just downgrade the license to vSphere 7 and be good. The baseline software remains pretty much the same. It's really about that enablement to cloud. Is why you'd want to go to vSphere 8. This vSphere 8 coming out is actually a very big step due to the fact that vSphere 6.5 and 6.7 have ended support. So customers are going to need now to at least upgrade to vSphere 7. And so with vSphere 8 now, there's a much bigger reason, I guess, to upgrade to vSphere 8 than really ever before. Is you, instead of having to upgrade your hardware, maybe then you go and you find a cloud provider to help host part of your environment as well.
With those upgrades, does that come complexity and for a partner who maybe is a little less confident in having those skills in-house? We know the labor market out there is competitive. So for somebody that's maybe not as familiar with VMware, with virtual machines, all of these things, what opportunities are there then for Ingram Micro partners to understand this stuff better?
Yeah, there's all sorts of training sites. Ingram Micro, through our training programs, we offer VMware trainings. We're a certified VMware training facility. Partners can reach out to VMware and go through some of their install, configure, manage courses. Those are going to be more techie focused, if you will. They're going to be more post-sales, people using the software. If you want to get a good baseline of vSphere, VMware offers the VMware sales professional trainings and VMware technical sales professional trainings. So those are going to be your VSP and VTSP trainings. Those are done through VMware's partner page, which is Partner Connect. You can sign up for those courses. They're completely free. It gives you a good baseline knowledge of the product itself and how it kind of works. And then if you have engineers on your staff that want to do a little deeper dive and they want to know a little bit more about the product and become certified, they have the VMware Certified Professional trainings that are going to be those post-sale trainings. So a lot of options there. Additionally, if any of your viewers are partners and they want to train up themselves, we also have boot camps available through Ingram Micro where we really cut out a lot of the stuff you don't need to know and really teach you about the stuff you do need to know. We'll help you get through taking the exam, and you can get your VSP and your VTSP accreditations way quicker than going through VMware's Partner Connect page. But lots of different training options are out there. Additionally, if there's questions that come up regarding vSphere 8, we have a team of technology consultants here at Ingram that can help assist customers through that process. But we're here to help any way we can.
And how, for listeners who have maybe specific questions about something we talked about today, or want to find out more, how do they reach the technology consultants there at Ingram Micro?
Yeah, easiest way is to contact your sales professional at Ingram Micro. As a partner, you can also get more information from Partner Connect. Also, you can email our VMware licensing team. It's just VMware-licensing at ingrammicro.com. And then we also have a TC email alias or mailbox, if you will, that will go to the TCs on our team. It's just VMware_TC_team at ingrammicro.com.
Excellent. Finally, as we start to wrap up our episode, we always ask our guests the same final question. And that's, where do you see technology going in the next year? So I always say that's, broad, of course, but within this space or just something you're personally interested in, what's in store for 2023?
Honestly, the cloud migration, I think, is going to be happening with the constraints that the previous couple of years have put on supply chain. Even now, getting hardware is difficult. Long lead times. If you have a project you do right now, it's not going to happen right now. You have to wait for that hardware to get in place. You have to provision it. You have to then get it set up and running. So I think a cloud migration is coming very quickly. And I think vSphere 8 is really well positioned to take customers there. But yeah, I think that on-demand availability of cloud and the flexibility of being able to deploy a VMware cloud really on any number of providers is going to, I think, drive down costs a little bit. Just due to the fact that there's not going to be competition with AWS. So I think, you're going to see some benefit there, for users. But at this point, if you're not thinking about going to cloud, you're going to be a little left behind, I believe. That's more of a far-reaching statement as well. I think in the next year, you're going to see a big move. But I think within a couple of years, I think most workloads are going to be running on a cloud infrastructure.
Well, David, I appreciate the time and insight today. Thank you so much for joining me.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And thank you, listeners, for tuning in and subscribing to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. If you like this episode or have a question, please join the discussion on Twitter with the hashtag B2B Tech Talk. Until next time, I'm Shelby Skrhak.
You've been listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. This episode was sponsored by Ingram Micro's Imagine Next. B2B Tech Talk is a joint production with Sweetfish Media and Ingram Micro. Ingram Micro production handled by Laura Burton and Christine Fan. To not miss an episode, subscribe today on your favorite podcast platform.